There we go. And we're live.
And we are live. Morning. Welcome to Waffle Time. I'm Matt. That's James. And we've imported some people. We're into human. So we just brought Norway. They're Vikings. And we're going to use them as slaves around the circuit. Should be useful. We can always do some of them. This is Waffle Time, where we talk a bunch of shit about RC stuff. And we've got some RC stuff. So that's what we're going to do.
moved.
We moved, yeah.
Yeah.
We have the circuit. Because we've got these guys, obviously, we've got
Need more space.
no, need more space. There's too many of us. So just to get everyone in, this is Oyvind. This is Shell. Then we got Glenn. We got Thomas. Where are all you guys from? Where is your home track?
You live in Norway.
We know that.
It's close to Oslo. 40 minutes outside of Oslo.
Okay, and what's the place called? You guys?
Hodland.
Hodland.
Yeah.
Okay, and what surface do you guys run on? Like, what? Tell me about the circuit.
It's foremost carpet.
Carpet.
Yeah.
And what's it like compared to our carpet?
Not so.
Slippy.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Much more grip.
That wasn't a loaded question at all, Mitto.
What?
Tell everyone how good our carpet is.
But it is good carpet.
Yeah, it's a really good carpet, and it's exciting carpet to drive on because you have to really push your car and get to know it better and know the settings, how the car works on.
Because with less grip, it's more sensitive.
Yeah,
that
much
kind of
more
thing.
sensitive.
Yeah, so it's easy to kind of get it wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same. I mean, if we go to, for example, when we went to Japan, we ran on P-tile and painted surface, and it really throws your game, doesn't it? Because it's like, oh, my tuning is completely wrong. But that's kind of the fun of it. So we're gonna talk about all of your chassis and stuff, and we've got some other questions, and then we'll do question time. So all those things are happening. I guess we'll start with the stuff that we've done recently.
Yeah. What have you done?
You've got. I just put a new motor in this little demon here.
One of these.
One of those. We got the old one. I could have shown you the old motor.
I think we've showed them enough times.
I just file that there.
Every time.
So yeah, we probably need gyno cam for this, to be fair.
We can do that. We can manage this. Except for you're all the way over there.
That's all right.
So this is not going to work so well, and this is going to be mega shaky. So oops.
Do you just pass gyno cam over? So anyway, I fitted this motor here that you can't really. Hang on, make everyone feel sick. So you can't really see it in there.
Yeah, you really needed that camera for that.
Yeah, but it's fun. I got to point at everyone's crotches. So it's the Accuvance Overdose. My static timing is on 13 degrees, if anyone's wondering. It's got the bigger cooling holes. It's got bigger cooling bits in here. It is 1.6 grams heavier than a regular motor, if that's of any use to anyone.
That's just enough of the gyno cam.
Wrong kind of cam. Makes you a crotch. So it's 10.5. Driving wise, pretty much it drives pretty much like a regular Accuvance motor, but whatever they've done internally, I know what they've done internally. I'm just not at liberty to divulge that information. But it's just got that extra bit of buzz to it, that extra little bit of torque.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think I needed until I had it and went, oh, that's really useful. So, yeah, amazing. There's only one problem with that, though.
You only have one.
We've sold out of 10.5s.
Yeah. Still have 9.5s, but
we've got a couple of 9.5s. So if you want one, you've got to be quick because, well, they won't be there very long.
No.
So I did that, and that was super good. I also fitted my diff cases and the new rear lower arms, which I told myself I wouldn't buy. And I did.
There's no
but I'm
surprise.
glad I did because they're freaking awesome. So that now is, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah, I haven't got around to fitting my motor yet, purely because I
You're
wasn't
lazy.
driving until yesterday. So
And because I have to do it.
and it's maybe going in this chassis. I'm not sure.
In
It's,
the
it's,
triple
it's going
XS.
in the RRX or the triple XS.
You've done a few bits on the triple XS, haven't you?
Yeah, just a few. It's gone far.
What have you done? What have you done?
It's become far less S and much more VIP. So it has carbon bottom deck.
Let's not go crazy. It's much more pro.
It's nearly VIP.
It's getting there. It looks cool.
Basically, yeah, it has the aluminium damper towers, has aluminium dampers, has new MST servo, which I haven't been running until now. Has the new slide rack, has obviously the top deck, the battery mounts, battery strap, AKM knuckles, aluminium rear knuckles. That's about it, I think. That's new on there. I think
That's quite a lot.
One-way prop as well.
Right. To point out though, like everything, because I'm doing the same with my FXX that's over behind the counter somewhere.
Totally nearly built last week.
The one we nearly built last week, yeah. But like everything that you fitted is basically functionality.
Yeah.
So rather than it being solely for the point of plastering and aluminium, you've done everything to actually get the best performance.
Cherry pick the bits I need. The only bits
Yeah.
on this currently that are pure bling are the Overdose Gold spring retainers, and that's because they were on the set of dampers that I had.
Yeah, that's
Simple as
because you're a hoarder and you've got them anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't knock you because I've got the exact same set in my box just there. So yeah.
But there's a couple of parts that I changed that didn't need changing. Things like I put aluminium prop joints on, but I'm taking it apart. I might as well put them on at that point.
Aluminium prop joints is one of those things.
It's stronger, a bit more response, and
yeah, and it's just cleaner, like sharper, and effectively it's just future proofing, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, for sure. This will be up and running today. I just need to decide whether I put the overdose motor in this or the overdose motor in the RRX and then the BS in this.
I think either way around it's going to work.
Yeah, I think the overdose motor suits the RRX better because it's got cooling on the end, whereas this has a clamp, doesn't it? So I think that's the only reason that I'll choose one over the other, I think.
Because it's more,
we'll see.
Cool effective.
We shall see.
I don't know if that's a word.
Not really.
Cool effective.
It's,
yeah. So that's what Jay's done. I guess that was exciting. I feel better about my life now.
Hey, it looks good.
And we're gonna look at these Norwegian cars.
Yeah. There's one thing in common with all these guys is they're all running RRX.
Yeah.
They are.
Which is cool, and I wasn't expecting, to be honest.
And they're all rear-wheel drive for anyone else.
Because it's an RRX.
Yeah, I know that, but just for the sake of saying it, and for the sake of me remember it. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Oyvind, you're the worst on camera.
Yeah, thank you.
So basically, these two guys at the back are scared of the camera. So I'm going to pick on them first. You're scared of the camera too. I don't believe you. You look absolutely relaxed, but you're both doing this.
Yeah, and I'm good. Okay.
So which is Oyvind?
This is
Oyvind. Let's move this because we don't want to spill drinks. So Yokomo Mark X.
Yep.
So you break it off.
Oh, be careful.
Pretty badass paint job. So who paints the bodies?
Me?
You all paint them yourselves, or you
No.
paint all of them?
No. Each one for themselves.
Oh, okay.
So not everybody is quite the same.
Look how organized people are in Norway. They all painted their cars the same.
Yeah.
By themselves. They didn't need help or someone to hold a hand. This is amazing.
I'm not sure about that.
This seems to be like, I mean, any competitions we go to, all you Norwegian guys always have the team thing going on. You're always kind of representing, which is super cool. And you always get really excited, which is cool too.
And drunk.
And drunk, yeah. You're very good at getting drunk. Jay's just jealous. He's not that good at it.
I'm
needs
the
to come
pro.
over.
It just nobody can tell.
He's a drunkard. So yeah, Yokomo Mark X, cool paint job, and RRX with an IFS conversion. So what's special about your chassis? Tell us about it.
Well, it's not that special. I have some upgrades. The damper slide rack in the back, the IFS damping. Yeah, that's about it. Aluminum lower arms.
For lucky rounds.
Yeah, full lock grounds combo. And I haven't fitted the MST servo yet. I have to try it later on today.
Okay, what are you running now?
It's the Savox.
Savox.
Savox
1251. Okay. Yeah.
So what's your favourite part that you fitted?
I'm really not sure. Maybe the damper stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
this
looks
one.
cool. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
very cool.
It does look pretty cool. Oh, they're a little tight.
I like it. I like it.
It's running a MST 2.0 RS gyro as well, actually.
And the cookie steering.
And curved steering rack.
The curvy
That's
I like that just because it looks crazy. You know what I mean? Is that a stupid reason to like it?
No,
I mean, it makes
a
sense.
bit more luck.
Okay, so a little bit of toe out on the front. Ackermans.
We fixed the Ackerman yesterday.
We fixed it?
We did.
We drunk.
We made it perfect. Maxi Ackerman.
No, maybe my favorite part is maybe the new brake discs and calipers, the big ones.
I didn't fit any of those yet, to be honest, and they're
They're
massive.
big. Yes.
It's like having an 18-inch wheel with a 17-inch disc. Oh, that's cool. And no rubbish, which is always a good thing. Okay, so there's that. I don't know what else to say about that.
Well, I've been. This is my third time visiting you guys. First time I was here, I bought the FXX Sport.
Yeah.
Then I got to the FXS VIP. I also had the RMX RVD.
Yeah.
And now the RRX is by far the best chassis I've ever had.
Yeah, that's kind of what we said. It's like a big jump in the progression of rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But I mean the other chassis. I mean, I've got an FXX. The other chassis are still good, but the RRX has just got that little extra something. And I think especially on a low grip surface, having all the weight at the back, just the squat grip is awesome.
Definitely.
I'm happy about that. Okay, so next up, let's go with Glenn.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I'm just going to put your drink right here. What are we running? Yokomo Mark X again.
Yeah.
It's a good choice. It's a nice body to drive.
Yeah, it's a nice body, and I like the length of the front and the back. Really good to place the car and know where you have it on the track. And the clippings.
Yep. It's nice.
And it's a dynamic chassis body.
So it moves a lot.
Yeah.
Is your chassis quite dynamic? No, not really.
Stiff in the back.
They're very different settings.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing, one
roll is very different.
One very different thing with Glenn chassis is he runs a short battery right up front.
Yeah.
And why do you do that, Glenn?
No, it's just some testing, and the point of it was to get more weight in the front, keep the front stable.
Yeah.
Instead of using extra weights.
Do you find
to place the battery in front?
Do you find you lost a little speed with that, or it's about the same?
It's about the same, but I had to add 2 extra weights on the back.
Oh, to
2,
kind of
3.5 grams
on the
on the lower arms.
It's pretty funky. Okay, you like a look?
I've looked yesterday, but it's very good.
Talk about the
very
points
familiar.
that,
It kind of
that you
silver
see.
is a good option. The big thing with this one is the layout. Just having the ESC kind of halfway between the furthest back position and the standard position. Obviously, also Glenn has the curb rack that you fitted yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which seems to work pretty well.
Some small adjustments
Yeah.
to do before it's working perfect.
Everyone here, I think, didn't you all change your FDR since you got here?
Yeah.
So yeah, big changes on the FDR for some of these guys.
Thomas didn't.
Did he?
No, he was stubborn.
I changed it before I came out.
That's clever.
Also mounted new MST servo yesterday.
Yeah, what do you think?
So far it's real smooth.
What did you have before?
Samba. SSR.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty good servo as well.
Yeah.
So MST is smoother,
Smoother.
faster, same,
About the same speed.
Yeah, but just
smoother.
clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of this chassis kind of has everything it needs. It's got the aluminium upper arms and lower arms, and you're running wheel weights as well, aren't you?
Yeah, the silver ones.
All round or just
All around.
yeah, you guys all run somewhere actually, don't you? You running somewhere as well, Thomas?
Controllers.
Transmitters, I mean.
Yeah.
MC4s,
Yeah.
M12s,
Yeah.
M12.
MT4S on me and Thomas, and 12 on these guys.
Oh, so they're the rich guys.
M12S.
M12S. I'm going home.
Master capacitor, which is always good. Did you run this before you fitted the master?
Yeah.
And did you notice a big
Master as well.
difference when you fitted it?
Yeah. It was a real big difference from the original to the master. The biggest change was the gyro and the servo was more precise, not so laggy.
More smooth.
Yeah.
Feels like more power.
That's kind of, I mean, we're running. Is everyone running masters?
Nope.
You don't have a master? Oh, no. You need one. We got them in stock. We can sort it out soon.
And today the IFS damping will be mounted.
Are you doing that as well?
Yeah, I have it in my bag.
If I had an RRX, I'd go IFS just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like that looks awesome, you know, because it makes it look all. Well, it makes it look a little bit like an overdose. So.
I already got the IFS and the AKM knuckles,
Oh, the
but
AKM's
at
making
the
massive.
moment are running KPI knuckles.
Are you going to change them today as well?
I'm
Ready
not
for
sure
Saturday?
about knuckles.
Get them on.
Yeah, just
Get them
do
on.
it.
Just do it.
Oh yeah.
You'll want them on at some point. You might as well tune it with the option you're going to stick with, and you
Yeah.
will stick with them for sure.
Okay,
That's
so let's have a look at Thomas's Subaru.
That you
Is that the Kumakubo Subaru?
Team Orange one?
Team Orange?
No.
Dukes.
Which one is Dukes?
It's the Team Orange.
The Ukes one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the Ukes logos on the door. I really like these shells. The guy from R31 House, their pro, Renato, he ran one of these for forever. And it just did really well with it.
Something weird I like about seeing a Subaru drifting, rear-wheel drive conversion and stuff.
I
It's
just like the headlights on these.
Yeah, you paint one of these.
Yeah,
I know the Tamiya ones.
camo and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't
that's
wide
right.
enough, and then I got annoyed with it and chopped it up. It might be on the wall, or in the box, or in the bin.
On the shelf behind us.
Don't actually know where it is.
I'm going to pass that to you. You can have a look at that one. Oh, yeah. It's kind of weird when we're trying to compare all almost identical chassis.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, I suppose it's easy to point out the differences and hard because you kind of do them in the same thing. But again, curvy slidey rack, somewhat ESC, OMG servo. What capacitor is that meant to be? Is that what comes in the Samurai?
Yeah, it's the original Sanwo Vortex capacitor.
It's kind of crazy looking. Does it come wrapped like that?
Yeah.
That's quite cool, actually. I like that it's black. That's. The only thing I don't like is when you get a capacitor and it's like, you know, just it's like heat shrunk, but it's like in black clear stuff and it looks all there. I don't like that. So it's pretty cool. That is one tiny spur gear. What spur gears is everyone running?
74 standard and
70.
That's 72.
Why does it look so small? It looks
Because
tiny.
it's smaller.
Because it is small.
Yeah, but it looks really small. It looks like a little peanut. But I'm used to 88, aren't I? So
Is that running as much camber as it looked on the back?
5.
why 5?
Good thing.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Is everyone on a ball diff on the back as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Standard.
Me too. I'm forwards rather cheating.
Has anyone got the aluminium ball diff, or has everyone just got standard?
Standard.
Yeah, we get
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Do you think it's a worthwhile upgrade?
I haven't
Absolutely.
tried the plastic one. I
Really?
only fitted the aluminum.
Well, a lot of help you are.
Are the RRX coming with gear diff?
Probably not anytime soon.
I hope.
They might do it at some point. In all honesty, the triple X one will fit, but I don't know about clearance. I can't see it being a problem, but there is it might be a problem because of the shaft. But in theory, because this is the FXX triple X full lift, the gear diff should go straight in.
There's nothing really crazy to point out about this. It's just like,
It's pretty dark.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of well put together.
It's got the aluminium damper tower that I can see.
Yeah,
It's got
and
the aluminium
curve
down
and
toe.
steering. That's it.
And the curved steering,
Yep.
and everything else seems normal. But normal on one of these is good. I mean, that's trying to make it so you can see
You need
it.
to put that in. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, that's a lot. It looks like a weird spaceship when I hold it like that. Damping.
So which parts do you want that you haven't got yet?
I'm gonna change everything to purple.
Yeah.
It doesn't say if it's gonna be any better.
Just
want
has
it
to be purple.
Yeah,
has to
I
look
just
good.
want it to be purple.
That's fair enough. They match your hat.
You're going to fit the aluminium upper arms on the rear as well?
Yep.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Oh, the hinge ones. You fancy bastard.
It's got to happen. It's cool.
Yeah.
They work well. They're just awkward to set up. Once they're on, they're on.
Yeah. Okay. So, last but not least, Shell, you can take off your own body. What is it? HPI BMW
Yes.
E92
Yes.
M3.
92.
What?
92 M. 3M.
That's what I said. That's what I said. E92. I said that.
Okay, you said it.
It's a GT one, isn't it? As well. It's got fins on it, it's like a fish.
Yes.
So
And
what,
massive wide body. You didn't spot that bit.
there's a slight
Slide one.
deviation in the Norwegian theme here. What happened?
It's not part of the team.
Not part of the team.
No,
No.
they wouldn't let you have team
That's
colours. You mean bastards! What's wrong with you?
He's the boss. Don't let me in at all.
He came all the way to England with you. What's wrong with you?
Maybe this is where he gets the body. Maybe he's got to earn it this weekend.
Oh, that is me. I'm very sorry. I don't know who that is.
If we had waffle time where your phone hasn't rang,
I don't know. Maybe. Okay, Shell, tell us about your chassis.
Pretty standard.
That's very interesting. So, moving on.
Yes. Aluminium's upper and lower in the front. Just an aluminum in the back. Standard steering, standard damping rack. Some ESC.
Yeah.
Savox servo.
And what's the gyro you got there? Is that
The Sanwa.
Samar as well?
All Sanwa.
Have you tried other gyros? Or
I
just
have tried. I stick with the Sanwa.
you like it?
Yeah, I like the
And
feeling of it.
because you run all Samar gear, you do have the adjustment on your controller.
Yes. That's a big plus, I think.
It is, because you don't have to have a separate unit, but obviously with a separate unit you have more capability. Because we were talking about it yesterday, weren't we, about the Acuvan stuff.
Yep.
And that was kind of a point of interest for you as well.
Because it has some limits.
Oh, on the when you're doing it on the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has some limits.
There needs to be a Acuvan Samoa collaboration model that's stupidly expensive. So that, like one person in each country can actually have it. And
I'll get the one for the UK then. Be fine.
I can
No,
take
no,
it.
no.
I live in Norway, so then.
Actually, to be fair, like, can you imagine how complicated that would be now with all the Acuvan software? Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
like, because you've got like all the ESC controls, the light controls, whatever the hell they come up with next.
The upcoming stuff.
Which I think there's going to be a lot of temperature control stuff. That's
There
my guess.
already is a bunch of temperature options, isn't there? With the remote sensor and stuff.
like thermostatically controlled fans and stuff like that. This is my guess. Nothing is confirmed. But if I was making stuff, that's what I'd make.
So you're also running adjustable damper caps,
Yes.
and I'm guessing you run multiple sets of dampers since you have blue on the back.
Yes, I have.
And you think it's worth having lots of sets of dampers?
Yes. When I come here from last night,
Yeah,
I was changing dampers and the car was perfect almost
yeah.
right away.
Because the difference with the carpet you're on is because it's more grip. You don't need grip recovery as well. So, you know, you can have less overall grip because the carpet gives you the grip back. Whereas here, you need, you know, to work. You need to fight for the grip. So your damping has to be different.
Yes,
The speed needs to be really controlled, I think.
yes, and the carpet here is a little bit bumpy,
Yeah.
and it's get into the chassis, and the grip is gone.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
have
exactly.
to have dampers that's going down to the carpet.
What do you think about it being bumpy? Like,
I love it. I
yeah.
think it's nice.
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, actually, it was Mizunaga when we first set up. He was like, "Don't make it smooth. Keep the bumps. Make it a little lumpy and stuff." And it was like, "Really?" And now we've done it. Man, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
And the funny thing is, you learn where the bump is. So you know, some bumps are going to make less grip, and some bumps are going to make more grip.
Yeah,
So,
and it forces you to understand bump steer and
yeah.
and correcting bump steer
Yeah.
and that kind of thing.
It would also gives you the realistic driving experience that's one-to-one scale got.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's why it's nice to have, you know, like a chassis that, you know, moves quite a lot and rolls quite a lot because you can really see it on this circuit. So when the car pitches in and it all leans forward, it looks like a real car, you know.
Yeah.
So I think previously a lot of the guys here were just tuning for speed. You know, it was all, oh, how fast can we go? How fast can we go? Then it was how much counter steer can we have? And now it's like, well, we can all go fast. We can all have counter steer. So now it's like, how real can you make it look?
Yeah.
And speed and sort of like having massive angle doesn't really matter anymore. Now it's kind of like, okay, well, like, you know, does it look cool when it bumps? And when it moves, does it look like it's, you know, like my body shell I'm running a JZX. So when it moves, I want it to look like it's a big four-door car. You know, I want it to swing because that's what a big car does. So it's kind of the same thing. So that's fine.
Also noticed you're running AKM knuckles.
Yes,
Did you run KPI before? Or did you go straight to them?
straight to them.
Did you run KPI on a different chassis though?
Yes, I have. So I think it's a good upgrade.
Yeah.
Good one. That's a lot of options then. Lots.
All of the options.
Yes, all.
I mean, to be fair with the knuckles, I mean that's like I've got them on my overdose, so because they're just better. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
More options.
And you three guys that are running short batteries, were you running short batteries before you got this chassis? So that's just what you put in, or did you change to run a short battery?
I had them before.
Yeah, from before.
Have you
I'm
thought
trying
about
to find somebody who's running a full size battery that chooses to go to a shorty. I'm curious because I'm tempted to try a full size battery again.
Well, I was going to say I'm more interested in that way around because it's like that. Actually, all of these chassis are still designed so that you run full size batteries. Really.
Yeah.
I
I think it may be my only option with the current state of Thunder Power batteries in the UK. I may have to go full size because you can't get shorties.
Bit frustrating.
It is.
So I guess we should move on to some questions. Not those questions. Asking these guys some questions about this place. Jay, you wanna head up some questions because I've talked a lot. I'm the king of waffle. I can keep this shit up all day.
But don't you have the questions written in front of you?
I do. Yeah, you've got that.
There we go.
There's only like 3,
Oh, yeah.
but there's 4 guys, so that could take a while.
I know that. That's fine. So, why did you come to Salasi?
Oh no.
First of all, we have Ivan and Kjell who has been visiting you guys earlier and talking very good about this place, you and Mitto, and the whole experience of coming to Seoul. And so far it's right.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling, and track, people, everything, just perfect.
Yeah.
Really worth a visit.
So you think you'll come back?
Definitely.
That's good. That's good. Same for you. Yeah. And because you've been
That's all
3
you
times
gain.
now. I know.
Same for you? Yes.
Is it your 3rd visit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my 3rd visit. The first time I thought Seoul was in Korea, but so
Someone had to say it at some point. But 3 times, I think you got a man crush on Jay. I think that's what it
It's
is.
the beard.
It's not the RC. It's
the
the yeah.
I think only the Dutch guys have been more. I think there's only Taj. In fact, maybe Taj on his own because he came without Ricardo one time, didn't he?
How many times has Jens been?
Oh yeah, Jens wins.
Jens, where the hell are you?
Come back. Just come
back,
and visit.
Jens. Yeah. Don't need your gear. Run my gear. Doesn't matter. Come back,
It's
Jens.
fine.
We lost Jens, but yeah, it's another thing.
Jens has vanished. It's fine.
So 3 visits is pretty
good.
solid. You're up there with on the leaderboard.
We should give him some sort of badge.
And we could do that. That'd be pretty funny.
Get like a star every time you visit.
gold one, gold star.
It can be gold.
I think the first one you get needs to be Pooh Brown. You're gonna work your way up to gold. A shiny golden nugget.
And this is your 2nd visit.
My 2nd. You guys, credible, track more credible. I like the carpet.
Yeah.
The carpet.
Do you like the look of the track now better than last time you came?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have some new rails and things like that. Looks more better.
Most of those options, or most of those upgrades only went in for this layout, but it's probably something we're going to keep adding to, I think.
It was a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it gives the track the little bit more extra that people.
Yeah, I think it's nice. Like one of my favorite things is when you're running around and you have something that like breaks up your vision. So you know, it makes it look real. Because the way I look at RC is like you're making your own drift video. So if it looks more like real, then it's more fun.
It's nice. And then the grip in the carpet is just the worst visit. I think.
I never realized we were going to make carpet that fancy.
What I like is that online we often get people tell us it's impossible that our carpet's custom and that we should stop lying about it being different to everyone else's carpet. And
oh really?
then you get somebody come and says like it's totally different. It's yes, because it looks similar to other carpet. People just assume from photos it has to be the same.
We got pretty tech getting the carpet sorted out.
We got into science lab territory, which we don't do.
Can you imagine me in a science lab? It's it's just not a good idea.
With a white dress and everything.
You just want to imagine me in a white dress. That's too far. We can do that later.
So what do you guys think of the standard they're driving here? Like, not us, but the customers that come here, the regulars. How does it compare to Norway?
I feel like it's a different kind of style, both in CS and RVD. More speed, more flicking, more aggressive driving.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
No?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, because we've talked about this yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know what they actually think, but everyone else needs to know.
But because obviously, like the thing you said about speed, like my impression of Norwegian driving is that you guys are fast. You know what I mean? Like when I go to, because obviously I've not been to Norway yet. I'm going in November. Hi guys. But like everywhere I go, like the Norwegian guys are always fast. You know what I mean? So it's interesting for you to say that about us.
It's but it's really fast but different here.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah. I don't know.
Just
someone else. Do you want to say something?
No.
More than
no. He just wants to sit like this the whole time.
Yeah.
He's the statue. He's the muscle.
Shell, what do you think?
Nothing happened.
No, got nothing.
For RVD, you got one
Glenn's
thing.
always got something.
Yeah, always got something. For RVD, it's a big difference from Norway to England.
Okay.
In Norway, it's still fresh. RVD is kind of new.
Yeah.
Not so many drivers, and lots of different driving styles. From slow to fast, from much angle to less angle.
Yeah.
Smoothness. It's a very big variation between the drivers. And, also the tracks is very different in Norway.
Yeah.
Coming here and seeing some rear-wheel drives yesterday, and they had speed, they had aggressive flicking, It was quite fun to watch,
Hmm.
and you can see that they are on a further stage here than we are in Norway.
I think that, like, when people started doing rear-wheel drive here, it was very similar. Where lots of people are doing lots of different things, and slowly it's kind of coming together. And I think when it all comes together, it will make a style for this circuit. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of how it happens really. But like the majority of the rear-wheel drive guys will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see a different level again.
Yeah.
Although tomorrow, I think it's going to be about 50-50 with CS and rear-wheel drive.
Was that like an ironic statement?
It was a little pun. It's fine. I slip it in every now and then. Yeah, I think there's probably about 10 rear-wheel drive drivers tomorrow, possibly 12. But I know there's at least 8 CS drivers coming tomorrow.
Yeah. Or in the daytime.
Yeah.
And we are obviously fully booked for tomorrow.
We are. So for anyone
So
thinking
tomorrow is going to be chaos.
tomorrow is going to be very busy.
Yeah.
And lots of carnage on track probably, but it'll be fun.
I think it'll be all right. If it's too busy, then we can just split the groups.
Yeah.
We can do that. These things can happen. More questions?
There was another one. I threw this pad away.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, I had one more question and I've already forgotten it. So we may come back to that one if I can remember.
Let's do question time and let's see if
see
these
what
guys can answer the questions.
Yeah. Well, actually, they can answer the first question. It's probably a really good one for them, seeing this.
Are you from Norway?
Fabian has asked.
Hey, Fabian. Everyone say, hey, Fabian.
Hey, Fabian.
Hey.
Essentially, is the RMX RRX curved aluminium rail better than the standard one?
I think the curved one gives you the extra little luck.
Always Glenn.
These guys are afraid of the camera.
Oliver was going to speak then. I saw him. You went like this. And then you.
Well, feel free, Ivan.
I only tried the curved steering rack on the RRX, not the RMX. But I've had the RMX earlier, and something didn't feel right about the steering. So maybe the curved steering rack is an improvement for both chassis. That's my
I find it strange because to me the standard rack is amazing. It's probably the best of any chassis I've ever used. But I've heard that apparently there's complaints in Norway about the RMX standard rack.
Really?
Which surprises me because it's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe that's why MST brought the curve on that. But I think it gives you a bit more acumen control as well. There's a fraction more, like maybe 1 or 2 degrees more lock, but gives you a bit more tuning with the acumen for sure.
Glenn, you have anything to add?
No,
I can see you want to speak.
everything.
He loves it now. He's going to come back and just present waffle time for us.
It should be our Norwegian translator.
Oh God, no!
We should have like a sign language translator just in the corner.
He'll be like, "Good morning and welcome to." He'll be like, "Good morning, you fuckers."
Next question from Arno, who I think is coming over next week.
Arno Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff.
What was it? How'd you say it?
You're just making me think of just bad things. His question. His question is: what's the deal with the new MST tires? The realistic tires.
The deal with them.
Yeah. There's a couple of people who asked what compounds they're going to be.
Okay.
I'd be very surprised if they are an indoor tire because you can't really have a hard plastic with tread on because it'll cut into the carpet. So it's not impossible, but there's certain things that have to be done for it to work well. And I don't think that. I believe they're just the rubber tires you get on the Triple XR. The photo that I've seen of the new ones, they definitely are the rubber tire because there's that you can tell by the way they're mounted. They're not smooth on the inside.
So
but there is 2 part numbers, and it could be that the other one is a different compound.
Okay.
Well, the other one will be a different compound, but it could be a much stiffer compound.
But the tread pattern is still the 8007.
Yeah. So I'm not sure when they're coming out, but I've asked the question to know what the difference is between the 2 part numbers, which I should hopefully find out probably Monday, I'd imagine.
Okay. So hang on, Arno.
Yeah, I'll know next week. Richard Fisher has asked, is there a way of using 2 brain units from one TAL2 without having to enter a code each time? No, there isn't. Simple as that. Do you think AccuBounce will bring an update with the option to select?
Possibly.
Probably not. from my understanding of how it works technically, but it's not impossible. But it may be that something comes later on to fix the problem.
I don't know anything technical about that. So
You just know it flashes blue.
Yeah, it flashes blue, and it makes pretty noises.
Andrew Hutchinson, I'm sure he's asked this before actually, but he said, "Is there?" Well, his question is literally lessons for noobs? Question mark.
Lessons for noobs? Well, as in like, do we teach lessons, or like you want some? I don't know, like Jedi advice.
No.
Like when you are a noob,
we don't do lessons because
the way.
lessons would have to be very expensive, and there's not enough people that would be willing to pay because we don't have a lot of spare time.
Plus, Hutchie doesn't need him. He's getting towards intermediate anyway. So.
He's getting towards not being a noob.
Well, he's not a noob. He's been doing it for ages.
Yeah, basically,
he's pretty good.
Anyone who comes down here can ask questions, and we can give advice and help. But dedicated one-on-one lessons is kind of not going to happen anytime soon.
No.
Or unless somebody wants to pay a lot of money because it means we can't do other stuff that's really important.
Basically, it's a day's wage.
Yeah.
The best lesson is to take the car here, test it, talk to the drivers, listen to their experiences, get some tips, try it.
Well, I mean, for you guys as well, like you know, one thing we're really proud of is you can walk up to anybody in here and they'll help you.
Yeah.
Or they'll go, try my chassis. Oh, can I try yours? You can try my, like, nobody's like.
Is it the same in Norway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's just a drifting thing, I think, isn't it?
Last night,
I think so, yeah.
a guy come up to me and asked if I could drive his chassis. He wanted me to try it.
Yeah.
That's also really special.
Oh, that happens all the time,
Yeah, but that's not usual.
No.
That's not usual.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, what, when you came here, you mean?
No, in Norway.
In Norway?
Yeah.
That should be normal. That's nice.
Yeah, for sure. Anthony Jones, do you offer soldering as a service? Not really.
No.
If you buy stuff, yes, because
Hang on. Do we offer soldering service?
people can pay for my service if they want that. There's no refunds for
Yeah,
sure.
Jay will give you a soldering service. You might have scars.
And you may have to replace everything.
Basically, if you buy stuff here and
You're here.
And I'm not ridiculously busy, then there is a good likelihood that things will be soldered for you. However, if you just walk in off the street and ask me to solder stuff, it is unlikely that will happen.
Yeah.
Unless you walk in off the street and you're carrying a big bag of money.
Because you're all about the money.
All about them dollar bills, yeah.
Akhtar's asked.
Oh, Akhtar comes on every week, man.
Yeah. When he didn't, we thought he was dead.
Yeah, I know.
He wants to know some drift techniques for both CS and rear-wheel drive. I think this is kind of one of those things we can't really talk about on Waffle Time. It's more it has to be a video because we need to be able to show it.
Korrigashi, front and rear, and for rear-wheel drive, rear Korrigashi, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that's kind of the technique, and matching your steering angle with your body angle. I don't know. It's really hard to just reel it off.
Yeah, you need to come up here, man.
Yeah. Come up here, Akhtar. Akhtar, you come up here on a Friday and we'll put you on Waffle Time. Just like, because it'll be weird.
Ben's asked, when are we going to update the standings for the Solar Sea Challenge? Ben Clinton. When I get a chance. I've been meaning to do it this week, but I've been too busy.
Does Ben not ask this every day?
Pretty much to me.
Yeah.
No, it's been a while. We do have the next round next weekend, so it has been quite a while. But
yeah, sorry, Ben.
Just been super busy. Stephen Legwaters asked, rear-wheel drive,
Hey, Stephen.
diff or spool? Ball diff. Almost always.
Wait, diff or spool?
Yeah, as in a diff or a spool.
The spool is a type of
No, it's not.
spool.
Yeah, don't even go down that road.
Yeah, but what type of, like a gear diff or a ball diff? Or
Diff. Just
like a slipping differential?
essentially spool or anything else.
I'm
If you
just
want to rephrase the question that way.
Okay, I'll go for anything else.
Yeah, ball diff.
Ball diff.
Ball diff.
Gear diff.
Weirdo. Okay, so some type of slipping differential.
Yeah, I
think the setting for diff is the hard bit, but once you've got it set,
sure.
it makes a lot of sense.
I find it weird when I see people that get a brand new chassis and it comes with a ball diff as standard, and before they've even driven the chassis, they take the diff out and put a spool in. I think that's really odd.
Yeah.
because the chassis is designed to utilize the diff.
I mean, a spool it keeps it simple. Like, you know, when we all started RC, it was like, okay, well, you know, you run a spool and that's it. But I mean, now even 4-wheel drive, like CS, I run a ball diff in the back, and I wouldn't be without it because the control it gives you is amazing. And rear-wheel drive, of course, you know, it stops that over rotation.
It requires much more finesse, but when you get it right, it offers so much more.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. I think anyone who dismisses a ball diff has not used one properly, because I don't think you could dismiss it as simple as that without understanding them properly.
The only time I could sort of get weirded out by a ball diff is like the double ball diff thing.
Yeah.
And
that's only because they're maximum traction that pulls you in on the corners.
Yeah, the only one I've driven that I liked was Baba's car.
Yeah.
When we were in Japan. That thing was ridiculous.
I've driven a few. I like Ryan's down here.
It's good. It's like it drives nicely, but Baba's just had that extra, whatever that means. So it's like, I don't know, it just like something about it was just extra. But I guess when you're driving a world champion's chassis, it's going to be like that, isn't it? Really? And if it wasn't, you'd be like, how the hell does this guy win anything?
Yeah, but then you look at people like Gatchpin chassis, and that's what I think when I look at his chassis. Like, how's this thing even driving?
Yeah, I know. It looks all beaten up.
But
actually, if you look at it and you move it and stuff, like it all works perfect. It just looks
it's used.
Yeah,
it's well used.
Yeah.
Akhtar's got another question. He said, wider track using higher offset wheels versus wider hex nets, pros and cons of each. There are reasons you'd switch, but essentially it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There's reasons for example, if you use, I can't remember which brand of the wheels I bought, but I bought some wheels that had a super deep hex recess on the back that just rubbed on the bearing because actually they couldn't seat far enough onto the 4mm hex. So in that situation, you need a wider hex, but essentially you're still positioning the wheel in the same place.
It's still like an adjustment of the scrub radius.
Yeah. So
but the load is transferred differently.
Yeah, and there's technically different mass and things, but it's such a small thing. Nobody really would pick it up.
But I remember I've had this argument with Phil Morrison about full-size cars, and there is a difference, but it's so nominal. It's kind of irrelevant, if that makes sense.
I think the thing is that a lot of people don't understand scrub radius properly, because if you add camber, you change your scrub radius.
Yeah.
And it's such a fine thing that
I swear I turned that off.
That was turned off. Anyway, that's kind of all our questions anyway.
Wait a minute, I've just got to go and deal with this.
Really? Wait.
Like, it's making a stupid noise.
It's also probably too loud.
I'm sure that's someone we know.
Do you guys have any questions for us that you haven't already asked, or that you think other people should know the answers to?
What do you think about our driving?
Very smooth. Very smooth. And all of your cars, when you got here yesterday, seemed very slow in terms of FDR. But obviously, you come from different tracks and stuff. But they were all very similar. The only person's car that was different was yours, which was very, I'm not going to say bouncy on the front end, but very responsive on the front end.
I can say bouncy.
We can say that.
Just because bouncy sounds fun.
Yeah, essentially, because you all got very smooth throttles, very fine control on the throttle and things like that. But the actual driving style was very smooth.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're used to very aggressive, so it's kind of the opposite.
That's kind of our thing, though, isn't it? Like the aggression, like slap it on the wall and all that sort of thing.
Or into the wall.
Get into the wall, over the wall. Anything to do with the wall.
I think everyone that's come over from Norway has been a pretty good driver. There's a pretty high standard.
But generally, with international visitors,
it's the guys that are really into the hobby that come.
Yeah,
obviously.
so
it's the guys that
they tend to be good drivers anyway. But you guys are on that level. Like you've arrived and driven well. So yeah, I'm not like, I don't know. You're not in the way. Put it that way. And that's, I know it sounds really crap, but actually that's quite a big thing here. It's like a lot of drivers, you know, when we get less experienced drivers, they can be a little bit in the way because they're not sure where to be when
and
you've got
also
a train
they don't understand the
10
etiquette.
cars
And
coming at you.
They don't understand when to pull out. And,
yeah. But you guys, you know what you're doing. You're competent on the track, and your cars look well, and you all put a lot of time into tuning, which is exactly what we want to see as people who
just out of interest, how long have you all had your chassis? Because obviously all relatively new being an RRX, but
1 week.
yeah,
I did it
3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 hours.
3-4 weeks.
But yeah.
they're all pretty new.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Yours the same, Glenn?
he said a
I
sentence.
had
I didn't
mine.
hear
A whole one. Go on, Glenn wants to speak.
I had
again.
mine for 2 weeks, but this is today is the 4th time I'm gonna drive it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me feel like I should be better. Tried mine longer.
You've probably driven it about the same.
Probably driven it less.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
I don't do a lot of driving, but I enjoy it when I do. I'm going to drive a lot this weekend. That's kind of cool for me. Looking forward to it.
You could do that right now. We could just leave the camera on and just go and drive.
So the camera just sees everyone's back blocking the track,
Yeah,
and you can just hear the noise.
that's what the world wants. It's like 6 dudes with butts.
Okay.
So, more questions. Anyone? No? Glenn, you've always got something to say.
I'm trying to
Don't let me down, man.
others talk.
Glenn, it's on you.
Yeah, obviously. How is the drivers here? Is it mostly CS or is it a good combination of CS and RVD?
I'd say it's about 60% CS
Yeah,
at the moment.
but it is going more rear-wheel drive every week.
Yeah.
And the big thing that I've noticed is the more people are going rear-wheel drive, the more people are attracted to rear-wheel drive.
Mm.
If we go back to when we opened, there was 2 rear-wheel drive drivers. There was Adam and Luke, and that was it. Like exclusive rear-wheel drive, I mean. And then even I don't remember how long it wasn't, but it took even Tunksy quite a while to start playing with rear-wheel drive. And then
He'd done it before.
yeah, but
I mean, so did we. You know,
I mean,
we asked
I mean,
around.
on a sort of regular basis
Yeah,
with a
on a
dedicated
serious,
chassis,
yeah.
and it took a while. And now, in the last 6 months, it's probably been as many people go rear-wheel drive as have until that point, because you've got the FXXS, it's super affordable, and a lot of people have upgraded their chassis. And people like Ark, who's down here all the time, he just made his old CS chassis rear-wheel drive, and he's loving it.
MS rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, he still plans to go to an RRX when he's got the money, but for now he hasn't. So he makes do with what he's got. But he's actually not bad.
His
chassis
MS
is
was really good.
Yeah. And Ark's still quite, relatively new here, isn't he?
It's
Really?
only the start of the year, I think.
Yeah, like a
He's
few
when
months.
he got
He's
into
been
this.
doing RC, and he's
He went to the Worlds.
yeah.
He went to the Worlds after like 2 months of doing it. Yeah, I think the rear-wheel drive is going to keep growing, especially with the RRX. And the thing that put people off, I think there's 2 things that put people off rear-wheel drive. One is that you need to be driving with other guys running rear-wheel drive, so a bunch of you have to commit to do it together. And the other one is the settings. If you're trying to convert something that's not designed for rear-wheel drive, it can be really frustrating unless you know how to set the car up.
Yeah.
And if you're new, you don't really know what's required, and only if you're a really experienced drifter will you even understand what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So having a chassis like the RRX or the FXXS that you can buy, build settings out of the box that the manual tells you, and it's just good.
I mean, those things out of the box are ace, aren't they?
Yeah, ridiculous. Look, out of the box, my RRX was as quick as people that have been tuning their chassis for 6 months or a year that they're used to, and it's only got faster and more planted since then. Yeah. Still tweaking it. I was tweaking it a lot yesterday, but there's a lot more to come from this chassis. I don't think anyone with rear-wheel drive realised the full potential of their chassis yet. I think everybody upgrades before they've got to the end.
I'm still on that point where like obviously being out in Japan, some of the rear-wheel drive guys out there, like I was like twinning with this one guy in a circuit called RCC.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise he was rear-wheel drive. He was so fast. I just thought he had really good counter. And then he just randomly spun out, and it was like, oh crap, he's rear-wheel drive. But I wasn't just, I was having to try to keep up with him.
Yeah,
it was
really
like, what the
forced
hell?
for it.
But the thing that goofed me was I
Was
thought
that last year or the year before?
year before. But the thing that goofed me was I know what everyone's going to be thinking. Oh, he had grippier tires, whatever. He had the same tires as me. The same tires. He just had more grip because his settings were amazing.
And his level was probably higher.
Yeah, and it just made me realize, wow, like I'm so far away from, from where I could be, and that was a big deal. So I still know that there's potential in these cars to keep up with the CS. But when we started, don't think anyone believed that statement, and now
now it's getting
slowly
closer
getting closer, and people going,
and
oh,
but also
maybe we can do this.
The massive rear wheel drivers are getting closer. Like on a Saturday, there's no one that's super slow anymore.
No.
There's no, like, it used to be that you'd get half a lap in with a rear wheel drive car and then you'd have to pull over and let somebody through. And now it's quite a while until the pack catches you up, essentially. And there's definitely times when you can just run with somebody's four-wheel drive. They may need to run a bit slower than they normally would. But again, the style here is to run fast with CS as well anyway.
Me and Thomas was driving on polished concrete last week. Then we actually drove from the CS guys.
Was that with different tires?
The RRX. Yeah, that was different tires.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
You have to do it with the same tires for it to count.
Yeah. But we was running carpet tires on polished concrete.
Okay.
So a lot harder and stiffer than the original polished concrete tires.
Yeah. It depends on compounds.
Yeah.
It gets tech, man.
Yeah.
It's tech. But you did good. Don't worry. Okay. More questions, or are we just going to wrap this shit
I think
up?
we're kind of done. I'll do a quick double check, make sure nobody's asked questions since.
I can have one.
Okay.
What do you guys think about the rate in the cars? Front and back rate in the car. The RVD. What do you think about it? The RRX, all the rate in the back. FFX, all the rate here.
I think that with everything you need a balance, but I think the RRX is kind of perfect at about 60% rear at the moment. But I think that's for how the style of driving is now. I think as everyone gets better, the weight balance will come back to being in the middle. And I think the honest sort of goal for everyone should be to have 50-50 weight balance, because that's what, at the end of the day, that's what full-size manufacturers of cars search for.
Well, actually, generally, as a general rule from full-size cars, it's normally about between 52 and 54% front weight.
Yeah, but they aim for 50-50 generally.
Yeah.
It's different when you go to a full-spec competition car because the weight balance changes. Obviously, the cars get stripped and then they get roll cages and things like that. But either way, nobody really tries to lose weight at the back and lose weight at the front. Like they're losing it from the centre of the car generally.
Yeah, I think the reality of it all is that because you can change ride heights and damping, you can move the weight anyway, and you can control the dynamic movement of the weight. So if I'm being honest, like I don't think it really matters where the weight is.
Especially if you corner weight the car and things.
Exactly. However, I do like the RRX having all the weight in the back because it just simplifies things.
Yeah.
It goes, that's where you need squat grip. There, we've given you weight there so you can have squat grip, which is why it works so well.
Yeah, as we've said many times, the biggest difference between RC drift cars and full-size cars is actually the tyre and surface contact. That's the chassis themselves can be the exact same, but they have to exaggerate things slightly to make the tyres do the same thing as a real tyre would. So a little bit of weight over the rear axle gives you a little bit more rear traction, which is what a full-size car has. Got one more question that just came in. I've forgotten already, so I'll close this. Fabien's asked, is it better to have a little bit of Ackerman or no Ackerman at all? It's a personal preference thing, but I prefer a fair bit of Ackerman. That's my chassis, which is not massive amounts.
I'm going to suggest that you look at Ackerman in a slightly different way, as in it's not really good or bad to have lots of it or none of it. It doesn't really work like that.
It's just like camber.
Well, yeah, kind of, but in the sense of Ackerman, like controls front end stability. What Ackerman will also do in the sense of your toe, for example, if you're just doing it on toe, so by adjusting the angle of the wheels, like next to each other, with small changes in the turnbuckles, you can make it so that the chassis will go out of a corner, sit in the middle of a corner, or go into the corner. So ideally, you want it to sit in the middle, so you can get the car to come in or go out. So I look at Ackerman as a tuning tool for one, catching the car on lock, and two, like deciding where the car's going to run. So if you find yourself tucking in too narrow, play with the toe settings, and the car will like start coming out or going in further, and you'll be able to work on it from there. But it's kind of like Ackerman is like the balance point of the chassis. So using Ackerman to balance. Well, normally you'd set your Ackerman, and then you'd set your rear toe to balance the grip, so that when you're on counter, the front and rear grip is even. So it's all moving together in one direction, not like rotating around the front or rotating around the back,
Yeah.
So use Ackerman as like a balancing tool rather than, is it good to have lots or none? Like it doesn't really work
I
that
think
way.
the only thing for me as my own personal tuning guide is I've never driven a car with 0 Ackerman I've enjoyed driving.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I don't like the feel of it, and it's
And that
just
goes
my
for
personal
full-size
taste.
cars as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not something that if somebody was entering a competition and had 0 Ackerman, I'm not going to tell them they're doing it wrong and they're going to have to change it to do well. But I just don't like the feeling of 0 Ackerman.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the back end is.
There's no feedback
Yeah.
from 0 Ackerman. It's just
It's-
rolling. But then
So
that again depends on scrub radius and all sorts of things. That's the problem with all of this tuning, is that
There's no right or wrong. There's too many variables, and it's personal preference with everything.
we're doing this as a hobby for fun, but actually, there's people who spend their entire lives, getting doctorates in how suspension works because it's so bloody complicated. So that's why you can only really deal with one thing at a time. So, just work it out from there, really.
Yeah. I can hear the lunch man.
I can hear that too.
That's our last question. We're kind of done.
That was a good question.
That was a good question.
So how do we say bye in Norwegian?
Ha det. Ha det.
Harder.
Ha det godt.
Harder. Good.
Okay, harder. Harder.
Harder.
Yeah.
Okay. Harder.
That's just quick.
So yeah, basically that was Waffle Time. These guys are Vikings. That guy has a beard. Like
So
and
do you.
favourite this shit. I've got a beard and become a beard today.
Yeah,
No,
we're back
become
next week.
James's ear today.
It's the 5th round of our championship next weekend.
It is
So we'll probably be talking about that, I'd imagine, next week.
probably.
Be ready
Maybe
to
we
go.
should do Waffle Time on Saturday, like at the competition,
No.
with chaos happening.
No, I don't have time. Simple as that.
It would be pretty funny. So anyway, that was us. Anything else to add?
No,
I always have to say Hummakavula. I've said it now.
bye people.
Peace.
Everybody wave.
Yes.
Bye.
Harder.
Harder.